In the meantime, a heated debate between atheist Christopher Hitchens, he's been a guest on this show, and our next guest, Dinesh D'Souza. Last night, he was a guest last week, and he's back today. Let's listen to Hitchens on religion.
A dead body can walk again. Your leprosy can be cured. The blind can see. Nonsense. It's not moral to lie to children. It's not moral to lie to ignorant, uneducated people and to tell them that if they will only believe nonsense, they can be saved.
Meanwhile, joining us today is best-selling author Dinesh D'Souza, author of What's So Great About Christianity. So it made perfect sense for the two of you to be paired up last night. And 1,000 people showed up on a Monday night in New York City to hear this, right?
It was a lively event. Hitchens has been going around the country debating some pastors, and it's been a little bit one-sided because the pastors are not typically used to taking on a guy like Hitchens. But
and also, pastors are not supposed to really get into sort of heated debates, so they're kind of going at it at a disadvantage. But you took the stand against him. How'd you do?
Well, I think I gave as good as I got. Let's put it that way. And so my philosophy was less turn the other cheek than drive the money changer out of the temple. Right. It was very lively. We took on a lot of good issues, and I think I tried to meet the atheist argument on its own terms. In other words, I didn't appeal to revelation or scripture, but appealed to evidence, to science, to reason. The same tools that the atheists claim are my tools as well.
Meanwhile, Christopher Hitchens, who says, and one of his tenets is that he doesn't want God to exist, he says there's something about Christians. They're very gullible. Listen to this soundbite from last night.
If they take it as a report issued through and filtered through dozens of other non-eyewitnesses and corrupt texts down the years, then I would think anyone who says that they think of the resurrection as a historic fact is advertising a willingness to believe in absolutely anything.
But that's the point of Christianity, is it not, Dinesh? Faith.
It is faith. What I tried to show is that faith itself is reasonable. In other words, Hitchens' point was, where's the evidence? Now look, if you're making a claim that has to do with our experience, if somebody says, you know, yesterday my arm grew by 4 feet, yes, bring in the doctors, bring in the measuring stick, you look at evidence. But if somebody asks you, is there life after death? Is there an immortal soul? Is there a God? Those are not things amenable to scientific evidence. You need to ask, does it make sense to believe, and what's it going to do for your life? So I think that's the advantage of religion, is it gives you morality. That's why we teach it to children, not because we want to teach them nonsense. We want them to behave better. We want them to be good citizens. Religion gives meaning to life.
And just out of curiosity, Dinesh, what about the crowd? If 1,000 people showed up, did you have a feeling how many were on your side, how many on his side?
Well, we had about a half and half. It's New York City. The atheists were out in force. They were yelling and screaming. Their yelling and screaming, in fairness, was louder in the beginning. They got a little softer toward the end.
It sounds like you were almost at a Bill Maher show taping.
Well, this is a good thing, though. You have to give a little gratitude to the atheists. They brought this issue to the forefront. I think it'll help Christians and seekers to think hard about what they believe and why they believe it. That's why this book, What's So Great About Christianity.
It's a great point. Dinesh D'Souza, What's So Great About Christianity? Thanks for joining us this morning.
A pleasure.